What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing a shoe which could be one of my favorite sneakers of the year, and that shoe is the Nike Pegasus 37. Even though I haven't had this shoe for that long, I genuinely think this is one of my favorite sneakers to release this year. And I know that's kind of crazy to say because we're not even halfway through the year and this isn't like a hyped up release or anything like that, but it's genuinely just an excellent all-around sneaker and I love the way it feels. The Nike Pegasus 37 is the next generation in the long line of Nike Pegasus running sneakers. And if you've run at all or you know anything about running sneakers, the Pegasus line has always been one of Nike's staple running lines. The Nike Pegasus line has always been positioned as a solid all-around running sneaker that doesn't break the bank. And the same is true for the latest Pegasus sneaker, the 37. This shoe has a retail price of just $120 and it's available now. And if you're interested in grabbing a pair for yourself, I've left an affiliate link to Nike at the top of the description. While the Peg 37 still looks like a pretty standard Pegasus sneaker, there were some changes that were made under the hood, or I guess in the midsole, that really make this sneaker stand out from previous versions. And in the few days that I've had this sneaker and run in this sneaker, I've been really impressed, and not just as a running shoe, but as just an all-around lifestyle sneaker. Now, quick disclaimer, I am a very casual runner, so this review will be coming at you from that point of view. I do run on a regular basis, and I know what kind of sneakers that I personally like, but if you're looking for a more in-depth performance review, I definitely suggest checking out someone like Jameson Runs on YouTube. He does awesome running reviews. That said, as a casual runner, I love this sneaker. I think it's awesome. So at this point, why don't we jump right into the Pegasus 37 and find out what makes it such a great all-around sneaker. Starting off in the toe, you've got this thin blue and black textile covering up a majority of the upper. I know this isn't performance related at all, but I really love the pattern and the colors that they use on this particular colorway. I feel like it gives it this very cool sort of stealth look. The blue just kind of fades into the black, and in certain lights you catch it and in certain lights you don't. I just love the way it looks. Even though the Peg 37 just released, there are still other colorways available, so if you don't like this sort of blue, black, and green look, you can always go for something like a gray. If you're into that. I think it's kind of boring, but it's up to you. Also, side note, on Nike's website, they actually call out the upper for being translucent, and the reason that matters at all is because apparently it makes the shoe look faster. I don't know why it made it to the official tech specs of this sneaker on Nike's website, but for whatever reason, it's there, so thank you Nike for that one. Performance-wise, the upper is very light, which I really liked a lot. However, it's not extremely breathable, so your foot can run hot if you're running in the shoe for a while. As you move back on the sneaker, you get to your lace eyelets, which are no longer flywire and instead a much more traditional lace loop. I'm not sure exactly why they decided to make that change, but I've got to say from my own personal experience, I don't miss the flywire. I didn't even notice it was gone, at least when it was on my foot. The lace loops, at least on this colorway, have sort of an iridescent purple look to them, which I think is kind of interesting. The laces themselves are flat and come in black and weave over this very thin textile mesh tongue. Moving inside the Peg 37, you've got a pretty well padded sock liner, especially around the ankle area, and then you've got a relatively thick foam insole with a bright green mesh cover. As for sizing and fit, the Nike Pegasus 37 does fit true to size. However, it does fit a little bit narrow. It's not really narrow enough to recommend going up half a size if you're a wide footer. However, I would suggest definitely trying this shoe on if you get a chance to make sure you're grabbing the right fit for you. The one small downside that I found with this shoe, at least as far as fit is concerned, is that you can have some heel slippage. The heel just didn't lock me in as much as I would have liked. The padding is really nice, the midfoot does lock you down, but I definitely notice my foot slipping every so often. And if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, then maybe that's something to keep in mind when you're buying this shoe. Comfort-wise though, this shoe was excellent, both for running and for lifestyle wear, even though the upper is pretty minimal and the only real padding is around the heel. The comfort of this shoe really comes from the midsole, the React in particular, but we'll get into that later on in the review. Continuing back in the shoe, you've got this bright green Nike swoosh sort of around the midfoot area, and then on the medial side, you've got a much smaller green Nike swoosh towards the heel. Then moving around to the heel of the shoe, you've got this fuse overlay panel covering up the stitching detail, and you've also got this odd sort of point towards the back of the shoe, which seems to be present on most of the new Pegasus sneakers. And then moving down on the shoe, you get to my favorite part of the sneaker and the biggest change from the Pegasus 36, the full-length React midsole and 4-foot zoom unit. This midsole is plush. It feels great underfoot. I just love it. In the Pegasus 37, Nike decided to get rid of all the old foam and just use React on this shoe, and it's much lighter, it's much more responsive, and it's softer. Not only that, but Nike also added a top-loaded 4-foot zoom unit, which is twice as large as any of the zoom units in previous Pegasus models. However, it's just in the forefoot. In my opinion, this combination of React foam and forefoot zoom is the perfect combination of cushion, impact protection, softness, and ground feel. It just feels incredible. That said, it is definitely softer than the Pegasus 36 and 35, so if you're happy with that cushion and you don't want to go any softer, then maybe this isn't the shoe for you. However, if you're like me and you love the way that React feels underfoot, you're gonna love this shoe. I've heard some people describe this shoe as a recovery shoe because of the React softness. However, I just really think it depends on your own personal preference. This shoe was so comfortable for me that I found myself wearing it all day long. When I was running, when I was walking, when I was sitting, when I was standing, it's just a great all-around shoe. And on a visual note, I kind of dig this iridescent accent towards the forefoot of the sneaker. I think it ties in really nicely with the lace eyelets. The only thing I don't like about this React midsole, and it's purely from a visual point of view, is that I've only owned this shoe for like 3 or 4 days at this point, and it's already creased so much. I mean, that's bound to happen when the foam is this soft, but it just kind of sucks to see. Oh, and I almost forgot, towards the heel of the midsole, you've also got this racing-inspired spike detail. At first, I didn't really like the way that detail looked, but the more that I looked at Pegasus sneakers and the more I got used to it, I'm actually kind of fond of it now. And then finally, rounding off the bottom of the sneaker, you've got a green and black rubber traction pattern, which from my own personal experience, grips incredibly well. The Nike Pegasus 37 is an excellent all-around running sneaker and also a really great lifestyle sneaker as well. For 120 bucks, you're getting a good-looking sneaker that feels incredible on foot, and if you run at all, I think this is a no-brainer. Once again, if you'd like to grab a pair of the Nike Pegasus 37s for yourself, I've left a link to Nike in the top of the description. But now I would love to know your thoughts on the Nike Pegasus 37 and whether it's a sneaker that you would consider picking up. So let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.